Well, I woke up this morning with zero intentions of filming this video, but I just cannot get this out of my mind. And when I tell you that I've had some very weird experiences with people that have viewed my videos. And I wouldn't even dare tell them to you because I think that people would get ideas, and I would hate for it to happen on like a bigger scale. Oh, like one day I'll tell you about some of the weird, inappropriate, just experiences that I've had with viewers, and but today's not that day. And for the most part, you know what? Not even for the most part, like 99% of the time, on the grand scheme of things, with how many people have viewed a video or piece of content of mine versus how many like weird things have happened, very minimal, which literally I thank heaven for. But the things that have happened, I'm just like, I literally can't even tell anybody about this, because if people knew that people did this, they would start doing, you know what I mean? It would just like give this snowball effect. That leading into a mistake that I made. I made the mistake of saying one time that I don't read like the drama channels, and I don't read Reddit about my family, and more specifically about myself. And the reason that was a mistake is because then, well, that part wasn't the mistake. So that's what I said. I said, I don't read that kind of stuff because like, I just can't have that in my life, you know, like I don't want that in my mind. A lot like what you eat is what you become. Well, what you think become what you think. And I mean that like, if I'm reading these negative things about me, then I think that, okay, well then this is true. And I just can't have that clouding my judgment on myself, on my family, and plus it makes me feel really, really sad. And so I did it once. I read a thing once because someone had sent me a link. I've said this, I told this story before. Someone sent me a link and was like, there's a really nice article about you. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it had linked me to a tea channel all about how horrible I was. And so for like 10 hours straight, I read this, and I was just like, I'm done. Like, I am not doing YouTube. Like, I had no idea this even existed. It was almost like they took my innocence away from me. Like, just truly. And the mistake was telling you the way that someone went about it. So now, oftentimes, I will get people in my DMs, you know, saying, hey, I read this on Reddit, is it true? And if I'm being honest, there are things that like I didn't know about, like, which, anyway. And so oftentimes I will see certain things in my DMs that are upsetting, you know, and so they've carried that negative tone from Reddit over to my DMs. And they're like, hey, on Reddit we saw this. Hey, on Reddit we saw this. Did you know that people are saying this on Reddit? And it's sad, but you know, it is what it is. And normally if I even have a clue or a hint that that's what it's going to be about, I don't even look at it. I don't look at it. I don't read it. Like, I don't want to know. However, oh my gosh, this is the most invading of my privacy that I have ever encountered on my 8 years of being on social media. And that says a lot, because I've publicly been like, don't come to my house when someone has come to my house. I've publicly been like, don't send me DMs about what the freak people are saying about me on Reddit, because like, okay, so people make it their life to nitpick someone else's life. If that's the kind of person you want to be, okay, fine. That's not me. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to nitpick someone. I'm not going to, and not nitpicking someone includes not nitpicking myself. Mommy knows I am not like awesome or perfect. Like I'm literally just Joe Schmo that started making videos and had no idea what it was going to become. Okay, I'm not built for this. That being said, I think that the story I'm about to tell you says so much more about this other person than it does to me. So let's just keep that in mind. But first, before I can move on, I need to just put a little extra bronzer on because I don't want to look like a little ghost while I'm telling you this story. You're not ready for this story. The thing is, I'm not ready for this story. Nothing has ever blown my socks off the way this story has blown my whole outfit off, okay? I'm standing here naked. It's blown all my clothes to pieces. So here's how it started for me. It started with the DM saying, hey Bonnie, I love you, I love your content. And let's just stop there for a second. If you love me and respect me as a human, you're not on Reddit reading about me. Because that is, you're going there to read either true, not true, over-exaggerated, overlooked into. Like, if you care about me as a human, you are not out there searching for filth about me. Like, no, you're not. You are not you don't care about me. And then to also bring it to me, you also don't care about me. So let's just get that out of the way. So then in bullet points, it shows, on the day you moved, you threw out a whole bunch of food that was not expired. And that was really awful of you to throw away food when someone else could have used it. And that kind of stopped me in my tracks because I was like, I did throw away food on the day that I moved. And yeah, I threw away some food that was expired because, and let me say this, I'm not justifying because I want anyone to think like, oh, she's okay to throw it away. I don't care if you think it's okay for me to throw something away. If I'm not gonna eat it, I'm not gonna eat it, and nobody is going to be eating my leftovers. And if you watch my channel, you will see I constantly am making double batches of food to take to a mom that just had a baby, like just a neighbor that I care about that I think could use like a meal or a loaf of bread. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, who is writing that? Because I literally did throw away food. Where's my lip gloss? I literally did throw away food that I wasn't going to eat, you know, like, okay. The next bullet point. On garbage day, Bonnie constantly, and she's like taking these bullet points from Reddit, I assume, in like the context, the way she was saying it. On garbage days, Bonnie was always known for running and scurrying out. No, where's my beauty blender? Scurrying out in her robe and filling all of her neighbors' garbage cans to the brim. Okay, that's also true. Am I ashamed of running around my neighborhood in my Bali robe? No, that thing is worth $1 million, and if you don't own one, I can only assume this person doesn't own a Bali robe, because if she knew how comfortable and amazing and warm and just like loving the Bali robe is, then she would be like, oh yay, Bonnie's out in her Bali robe, good for her, she's comfortable, she's happy, she's living her best life. So So clearly that person doesn't own a Bali robe. P.S. The Bali robes are 50% off right now. So if you want to go get one, there's not that many sizes available in the ones that we have stocked, so you better hurry. Okay, anyway, but I'm like, no, that is true. And then she specifically mentioned, he or she, who knows, they specifically mentioned, and she always goes to the neighbor's house that's never there and uses their garbage cans. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is true. But did you know that they know that we use their garbage cans? Like, they are never home. They don't care. We use the garbage cans, we take them to the curb, and we take them back. Because I have an excessive amount of garbage, because brands send me an excessive amount of garbage, okay? So that being said, I'm like, well, this is all true. Who is going through my garbage and looking at expiration dates on all the food at the bottom of the garbage can? The food that I had thrown away was at the very bottom of the garbage can. Then she goes on. It's upsetting that you don't break down your garbages or your recycle boxes. Maybe if you were to recycle or break down your boxes, you would have more room in your recycle bin. Okay, and yeah, that's true. Because I was literally running ragged trying to get my house packed up because I had a deadline of 5 o'clock. And I needed to be out, and I was cleaning. You guys watched me on the day that I moved out. Did I have to clean that house? No, I did not have to. I think I know who it is. It just dawned on me. I think I know who it is. I think I know who it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, the day that I was moving out, I called our realtor and I said, hey, I need you to make sure that they don't come until 5 o'clock because my kids get home. We're gonna be filming at 4 o'clock. And I knew the feeling that I wanted within my home. I wanted to pray with my family in the home that they all grew up in. I wanted the kids to have a chance to say goodbye to their bedrooms without the new owners coming and, you know, ringing the doorbell wanting to check in early. And so, yeah, I told my realtor, hey, please make sure that the new homeowners don't come any earlier than what has been said. And that was in this, like, apparently, this Reddit feed. Maybe it's not who I was thinking that it possibly could have been, because they were talking of, no, I know it's not. Okay, it's not who maybe I thought it was. Because there were complaints about how, you know, Joel pretends to be this like helping guy on YouTube, but then like what you don't see is that he only plows his driveway, and according to, and then they gave some like, according to policy blank, he's not plowing far enough away. And I'm like, no, we plow further than anybody else does. Like, I literally don't know what they're talking about. And when we walk past their driveway is the only one that's hard to drive past because they don't keep it plowed. And I'm like, honey, do you watch our videos? Like, that's like completely made up. Like, I don't know what beef you have with us, but that's completely made up. We keep each other's driveways plowed, like us and our neighbors. It's like, hi. And like using my neighbor's garbage cans, like, mommy, do you not think that I asked? Like, I have been these people's neighbors for 13 years. Yeah, they said I could use their garbage can. Like, I'm sorry if you don't have that friendship with your neighbors, but like I do. So this person has to live within close proximity to my house enough to go through my garbage. That's the part that just gets me. Like, sure, watch me from your window, do whatever. And so I'm like, okay, is it Cat Lady? Is Cat Lady the one that always called the cops on me? Is it her? Because she really likes, like, to follow the ordinance rules to a T. And I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying, like, I don't go out and look for people to call the city on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I wish so bad that because it's been a hot minute since I've like looked. Oh, this is what she said. I was gonna say it's been a hot minute since I like read it, and I had zero intentions of ever making a video on it, but I can't stop thinking about it. Like, I cannot stop thinking about it, and I'm just like, you know what? I have to say this story. Like, I just cannot even believe it. She mentioned something about Bonnie. I asked several times if I could come in and see Bonnie's house, and she never allowed me in her house. I don't recall ever anyone asking if they could go through my house, except for like the really sweet older ladies in our ward that have like lived there for 30 years, and they're like, we heard that you have the nicest house on the block. And I'm not saying that because I think I have the nicest house on the block. I am just telling you what the little grannies said on my street and in my church ward. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, you should come over anytime you want. Like, come over anytime you want. I would love to give you a tour of the house, okay? So I don't know if this girl just wanted to see the inside of my house and never got to see it, but apparently I think I could have my story wrong because I didn't go look at Reddit. This is just from the DM. But she said that the girl finally got a tour of Bonnie's house. Creepy. You are a freaking creep. And if the most important thing to you is to go through my house and nitpick it after I move out because she went to meet the new neighbors, okay? She was disappointed that there was frost in the freezer. You all watched me clean that house, and I think I even said, did I ever say in a vlog that the one thing I didn't clean was my fridge and the freezer in the basement that we left for free? Like, we left our freezer in the basement for them. It had frost in it. Yeah, the one thing in that house when I left that was not exactly perfectly clean was the fridge, because mommy didn't have time. I was running. I maybe had a little reflection of like I sat and reflected on myself, like, okay, did I leave? Like, am I in the wrong here? I took a good hard look at myself and I was like, okay, is there any truth to this? Yes, all of it. There's not one thing this person said that wasn't accurate. And then I'm like, this person knows me. This person is in my same neighborhood, which means she has access to my phone number. So I would politely invite you, text me. Don't call me, because if I don't have your number saved, which clearly we are not friends, so I don't, text me. Text me and let's like talk things through. What is it that you're so upset about? Text me, I'll call you, and let's just like chat. Like, what is it? Do you just personally not like me? And then I really thought about it. It's just projecting at its finest. And whatever this person, whatever the reason, I don't know, and I don't care, because what you've got going on is none of my business. The only problem is this literally was the most invasive thing that anyone has ever done. So whatever you were looking to do, you at least managed to gain that title. You were the most disrespectful, unthoughtful neighbor that ever existed, including Cat Lady. I would take Cat Lady over you, because Cat Lady's not going through my garbage. And then I get questioning. I'm like, Bonnie, you're being so harsh, you're being so rude. No, if being rude is just repeating what someone did to me, then that just assures me that what the person was doing was rude, because oh, why? Like, why? If I didn't have to have royalty-free music, we would do the outro of "Why are you so obsessed with me?" But we don't have access to that. Okay, we just have royalty-free music around here. Hope you all enjoyed the tea. Normally, I am not this sassy. Normally, I am not this offended. This story called for a little sass, a little attitude, a little defensiveness. I think I deserve to have those qualities involving this story. Thank you. Okay, that's it. Like, that's the video, that's the tea. Do with it what you will, maybe. And you know, hindsight, it's like, I don't need to make videos like this. I know I shouldn't. I know that I should just like move on, whatever. But I couldn't. I've been thinking about it. Even Joel, like normally when I like Joel, you know, and tell him things, he's like, Bonnie, it doesn't matter. Like, that's none of our business. I don't care. Like, but he was just like, what? He's like, who could that be? And the thing is, it must be someone outside of who I communicated with, because I just cannot see someone being that big of a snake and me not knowing in like with who I communicate with. So it's someone that's snaking from afar. So I don't know. To be honest, I hope I never find out. I hope I never find out who it is. I know I told you to text me, but let's not do that. I'm trying to keep my stress levels low. Actually, you can if you want to.